It is 10 o'clock. Welcome in. This is Three Man Front on Jocks. We are back in studio after Social Taco yesterday. Appreciate everybody joining us, as always, from 10 until 2. Hopefully you'll stick around for the next 4 hours. Plenty to get into. A lot of college football talk as we will continue the conversation you just heard on Mac and Cube. Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider joined the program coming up at 10:45. Chris Stewart, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide. We'll go to Rocky Top. Vince Ferrara from our sister station, the Sports Animal in Knoxville, Tennessee. He will be along to give us his preview of the third Saturday in October. Trey Wallace from Outkick will join us at 12:30. So hope my teammates are doing well on this beautiful but a little bit more than warm Wednesday morning.
I'm doing great, Pat. It's the middle of the week. We're getting closer to football. Had a sweep last night with my bowling team. Feeling good.
A sweep?
Yeah, we had a sweep. We took all 7 points.
Nice.
Yep. It was good.
Okay.
Back in our zone.
Been getting a lot of text about coaching rumors. Just got another one, like literally seconds ago. Interesting names I'm hearing for UAB. Not like me personally. I'm just telling people texting me interesting names.
Giving you suggestions?
Not suggestions, just giving me some predictions.
Oh.
You're going to do a great job on the sideline next year, Landrum.
I mean, Matt Rule's up for every job in college football, but not the UAB one. I can confirm he's not up for the UAB job.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't want him. They needed a coach that had a better record than 0-7 against top
Against
25
ranked
opponents. That's right.
Yeah. That will happen. Indeed. So, did you watch any? Well, you didn't because you were bowling.
No, I did. They
Oh,
have
you did?
TVs there.
Okay.
A lot of TVs.
Okay. Liberty's bad. That is just Hugh Freeze ruined another program. He's running Auburn, and now he's ruined Liberty.
Wait a minute. We're not going to put Liberty's failures on him, right?
Absolutely.
Why?
It's all on Hugh.
I think that's on Jamie Chadwell, Pat.
No. It's Hugh.
You had that thing. You had that thing rolling before
Hugh
he
took
left.
all the good players to Auburn.
He did have a couple, or one
Where
at
are they?
least. Was it Jay Hardy that he got?
I think so.
Yeah.
No, Hugh Freeze did not destroy the program. That is squarely on Jamie Chadwell. I mean, they should have lost that game. I mean, it was so ugly. New Mexico State had every opportunity, and then
Has
oh my
Portal
goodness.
hurt Liberty?
I don't know. I just know that the couple times that I've watched Liberty on these Tuesday night games, including a game against UTEP, it's just bad football.
Well, go back to last year. They lost to Kennesaw.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. It's just bad. Remember, he was supposed to be the next big thing since sliced bread in college football.
Well, if it for some reason didn't work out at Auburn, you could go back and live on the mountain.
Yeah, he wants to play golf
Sure
all the
they'd take
time.
him back?
Absolutely. No doubt. So, yeah, Liberty won last night, 30-27. Arkansas State. Butch Jones comes back to the state of Alabama. How about that? Getting the big win against South Alabama. South Alabama, when I saw them against Auburn, I was like, you know what? I think Major Applewhite, I think the Jags are going to have a pretty good season. Maybe it was because Auburn wasn't that good. I don't know. Because South Alabama is 0-for in the Sun Belt. They are 0-6. Excuse me, 1-6 overall, 0-3 in the Sun Belt. So,
Well, and they had a really competitive, close game where they came back and made it really close at the end versus Tulane. It's unfortunate, but I'm like you. I thought when I saw that team earlier in the year,
I thought
they
had a
could
lot
do
of
something
promise
this year.
Yeah, I thought they had a lot of promise, but
maybe it was more indicative of what we were going to get from Auburn's offense because Auburn that day against South Alabama, they struggled a little bit.
yeah, they did. So Arkansas State comes in, they get the win over South Alabama, and then Florida International, they're in Bowling Green, Kentucky. They win against Western Kentucky.
It's a tough place to go and win.
Yeah, you just don't see a
It's
lot
the
of
power
teams.
of Pitbull, baby.
You just don't see a lot of teams going to Western Kentucky, and I mean, it wasn't even close. It was 25-6.
Ooh.
Yeah. The underhit, that's all I cared about. So,
They got the Corvette Museum up there. It's nice.
yes, very nice.
I've been there before. Yeah,
I
it's pretty-
too.
Yeah, very nice.
Well, tonight you've got the Delaware Blue Hens. They are in Jacksonville taking on the Gamecocks.
Is that the program that Flacco built?
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Most certainly is. So that is a 6 o'clock kickoff tonight on the big ESPN. So watch the Gamecocks. Gamecocks 3-3, 2-0 in Conference USA, taking on Delaware. Delaware's first year in the FBS. They are 3-2 with a 1-1 record in CUSA. So that should be a good game. And then later on, it will be UTEP and Sam Houston. I'm sure Conrad will be tuned into that one.
think I'm busy. That's going to be a ugly football game.
These two teams are combined 1-11, 0-5 in conference play. So the good news is somebody will walk out of there with a win.
I just imagine those two teams playing. They don't play on grass, just playing on like really dry dirt and wind, just kicking,
I was thinking
kicking up dust.
I was like thinking gravel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If there was ever a parking lot game, it seems like those two teams would be in the parking lot game.
There's no question.
And wouldn't mind a bit.
No. They'd go play in the end zone there in Como where they had all the excavators on a Saturday. We gave Vanderbilt a hard time about their stadium renovations. Missouri's.
Hey, when
it's a full-on construction zone
that thing
back
gets
there.
done in 2040, it's going to be nice.
Oh, it will be eventually.
Very nice. Yesterday after practice, Jackson Arnold, the quarterback for the Auburn Tigers, he had an opportunity to meet with the media. This is what he had to say about the team coming together. I can promise you he said it. We do have the audio.
Yeah, we just need to come together right now. And nobody's pointing fingers.
We're in here working
on the same
hard.
page, and we still have a lot of season in front of us and a lot of goals that we can achieve. Are you having it now? No. Oh.
But that's basically what he said.
I'm going to try to get the ball out sooner.
No, he didn't say that.
I'm going to try to.
He did not say that. But he most definitely gave the impression that the team is.
I've told Coach, just let me run. More design runs. What are we doing?
He says that we're all, pulling in the same direction.
I told Coach on Monday, I got this.
Okay, I've been told now we have it. So
All right.
let me
Okay,
set
good.
this up again.
All right, for the record, Jackson Arnold said none of that.
Yes, we just made all that up. But this is what he really said yesterday to the media.
Look, it sucks having 3 losses in a row, but for us, I think Coach, a good champ after the game, made a great point. For us, if you don't want to be here, then don't be here. For those guys that want to, stay hungry and stay in the fight, they're going to come back to work yesterday, Monday, and today on Tuesday, and go and try to get a win. And like I said earlier, it's our mindset every week is just to go out and dominate and go get a win.
Jackson Arnold says, yeah, it sucks going 0-3 in SEC play, but you know what? If you don't want to be here, you don't want to work, stay home.
Okay.
I think that's what Damari Alston did.
I subscribe to that.
I think that's what he did. So, yep, I'm done. Auburn's offense is currently 15 in the SEC in total offense, last in the league in passing, 10th in rushing offense in the SEC. Just want to remind everybody that,
I shared this fun stat on Morning Jocks too, and I know it feels like we're piling on. So there are how many teams in the SEC?
Last I checked, it was 16, unless we have expanded over the last 10 minutes.
I count Georgia Tech, 17.
Okay.
Sewanee makes 18.
Okay, so there are
Tulane 19.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's going to make this stat look better. So there are 16 teams in the SEC. Jackson Arnold is currently 18th in quarterback rating.
Ooh.
So he has performed worse than backups. And granted, that's a smaller sample size for those guys, but 18th best QBR in the SEC, and that's with throwing 0 interceptions.
Well, I know you want to crap on Jackson Arnold, but I'm going to give you a stat that's going to tell you that he is better than what you're talking about. He has now thrown 319 passes without an interception.
That's good.
That is third in SEC history. And this conference has played football for a long time, Conrad, so you can take all the shots you want to at Jackson Arnold, but he is currently third in the SEC.
Auburn has to be
all time.
Auburn has to be in the top 3 in the SEC for lack of turnovers, fewest turnovers.
Because they don't throw it a lot.
Well, they really haven't turned the ball over that much.
No, I mean, I'm trying to yes, obviously the fumble in the last game,
Right.
but other than that,
You had one against Ball State.
yeah, the goal line where they kicked the field goal or near the goal line. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Did you have? Because you had no interceptions. So
Auburn is 6th in the conference in turnover margin.
well, the problem is they're not taking the ball.
Well, that
away enough.
yes.
But
They're +3.
in terms of their turnovers, yeah, they are not turning the ball over, which is good because that has been a problem the last couple of years.
They're
until this
+3.
year.
Bama is number 1 in the conference. They are at +9 in the turnover margin, followed by Texas and South Carolina with 6, Mississippi State 5, Vandy 4, Auburn 3, Tennessee 2, LSU 2, Texas A&M 1. Everybody else, they're in the negative category in turnover margin, including Georgia at -1. Oklahoma's the worst in the conference. They're -7.
Well, they didn't create a turnover until like the 5th game of the season or something like that.
And then when you had John Napier throw like 17 balls to Texas over the weekend,
That did not help.
that kind of helps that number. So I'm tired of you picking on Jackson Arnold, Conrad, because he has thrown 319 passes dating back to last season at Oklahoma and Auburn without an interception. That is third, Conrad, all time in the Southeastern Conference in the history of the league.
Conrad, you still holding a grudge for what happened in Norman?
Yeah, just because he beat your Tide in Norman, now you're, want to take advantage of his poor play at Auburn.
So surely he's thrown probably 30 touchdowns in that span to go along with the 0 interceptions? 20?
Once again, why do you pick on him? I just do not understand.
Good for him. That's a good streak.
And how much is he getting paid at Auburn this year? Is he the highest paid on the team?
I don't know. He's got to be one of them.
What do we think? Around $2 million? Isn't that what the number was? Something like that? 1.5, 2?
1.5? 2?
That's good. So when he throws his first interception, he will have gotten paid $1.5 million per interception.
He's got 5 touchdown passes this year, no interceptions. Last year, he had 12 touchdowns at Oklahoma passing, 3 interceptions.
So far this year, every time he's thrown a touchdown pass, he has earned $300,000 essentially.
Yes.
That's a good return on investment for him.
It's a fantastic investment.
For him.
Maybe he gets some Saturday.
Yeah.
Hopefully so.
I mean, his TD to interception ratio at Auburn's outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
How about that defense?
Defense is off the charts good. I mean,
Very good. One of the best in the conference.
I could ramble on for about 30 minutes about how good DJ Durkin's side of the ball is performing. Maybe it's because they only have one coach calling plays on defense.
That could be.
As opposed to 3 or 4 on the offensive side. DJ Durkin's side of the ball, allowing 17 points per game through 6 games. Good for 5th in the SEC, 19th in all of college football. Auburn's defense ranks 6th in the FBS in yards per carry, 11th in rush defense. I mean, seriously, I could go on for like 30 minutes about how great the Auburn defense is and just not getting any help. So if the offense ever shows up and pulls their weight, then I think Auburn could get on a run.
So this weekend against Missouri, because we all know, how good they can be offensively. How many points do you think Auburn is going to have to score this weekend to win that football game? 21, 24, 30?
24.
24?
And here's the good news for the
I told you I
Auburn.
thought they needed to score in the 20s.
21 would have done it last week.
Yeah.
Auburn has not allowed more than 24 points this season to an opponent.
That's really good.
Mm-hmm. It's very good. And Auburn now joins Alabama because this will be the 4th consecutive week that they have played an SEC-ranked opponent. Here's the difference. Auburn is 0-3. Bama is 3-0.
Yeah, I guess because the Oklahoma game, that was not all on the defense. You said they haven't given up more than, what, was it 24?
Yeah.
Okay, that was the Oklahoma game. Yeah.
Auburn is one of eight FBS teams, including 3 from the SEC, that hasn't allowed more than 24 points this season in any game.
Yeah, and one of those touchdowns in the Oklahoma game was illegal.
So we don't count that one at all.
I'm not going to count it.
It is rough, though, to understand that if you just average 28 points, if you could just score 28, which, I mean, that's a solid offensive performance, but it's not elite, you'd be undefeated.
But here's the problem. Since Hugh Freeze has been at Auburn, they're averaging less than 27 points in any game they've played, and that includes games in which they beat Sisters of the Poor 63-0.
Yep, there you go.
Less than 27 points a game for the quarterback whisperer in Auburn. I mean, those are stats. I mean, you can say whatever you want to, but that's the raw data.
That's
3 years of Hugh Freeze, and you got less than 27 points. You're not scoring more than 4 touchdowns a game.
No, last year, just off the top of my head, last year versus Alabama, 2 touchdowns. Last year versus Vanderbilt, you got beat 17-7. Trying to think, what did you have in Georgia? Maybe a couple of touchdowns against Georgia. I guess your breakout game would have been against Kentucky. You won by 2 scores.
I think we would all agree that so far the Texas offense has not been great, right? If you had Texas's offense, they're averaging 28.5 points a game, you would be undefeated right now if you're Auburn. And that offense is not good.
Auburn actually last year, almost 28 points a game. That was their average. This year it's 24 points a game.
Well,
So
against good opponents or decent opponents last year, they scored 14 in the loss to Cal, 14 in the loss to Arkansas, 21 in the loss to Oklahoma, 13 in the loss to Georgia, 17 in the loss at Missouri, 24 points they scored in the win over Kentucky, 7 to Vanderbilt. Of course, high scoring with Texas A&M in the overtime game they won, and then 14 against Alabama.
So that's one time in the last year and a half that you've scored more than 24 points a game in SEC play? Or 27, whatever it was?
Yes. Besides, Texas A&M.
Yeah.
But this is the week.
This is it.
Yep.
Can't get to 4-3 if you don't start 3-3, Pat.
That's right.
Well, as football season moves on, you know that means changes in the weather are coming, so you need to protect your HVAC system with a checkup from a trained comfort specialist so that when the cold weather hits, you'll have peace of mind that you're protected by America's most reliable and most trusted brand. So go and find out more. Find a comfort specialist near you at train.com. It's hard to stop a train.
When we come back, we're going to let you listen to a clip from a radio show in Atlanta, Georgia, as the folks that wear the red and black for the Georgia Bulldogs, they are taking their shots at not only Auburn people, but our own teammate. I don't understand this. Why would they attack our teammate, Greg McElroy? We'll let you hear that next on Three Man Front. Welcome back. It's the Wednesday edition of Three Man Front here on Jocks. 1-800-239-WJLX, the courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450. As the weather turns, now's the time to get your mowers and tractors serviced for the end of the season. The Artec Tractor is the place you need to have it done. They're your certified Mahindra servicing dealer, and just in time for the hunting season, their hunter's package includes a Mahindra 1635 with loader, trailer, bush hog, tiller, and spreader for all zero down, just $450 per month. Artec has a full line of tractors as well as heavy construction equipment for those big jobs just north of Jasper on Highway 5 or online at artectractor.com. Buck Bellew, former quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs. He is a radio host on 680 The Fan over in Atlanta, Georgia. And he has a little message for Auburn fans and gave his opinion on what took place the other night at Jordan-Hare Stadium. And unfortunately, a shot at our teammate, Greg McElroy.
It was a fumble, so quit complaining. You're lucky the fumble did not cost you 7 points on the fumble return coming back the other way. But if you look closely, if you take those burnt orange shades off for a second and keep it real, you're going to see that the Georgia linebackers, Raylan Wilson and C.J. Allen, both punched the ball almost simultaneously. The first hit of the ball knocked it loose from Jackson Arnold's grip, and that's where they kept showing the goal line, and the ball was around his forearm area. And then the second punch knocked the ball away from the goal line where Georgia's Kyron Jones recovered it. But Jackson Arnold never got the ball to the goal line under control. And another thing, a very important thing, Auburn allowed that one play to turn the game around. One play, one piece of adversity, and the Auburn Tigers folded like a cheap suit. And I understand why you Auburn fans are frustrated. Lord knows I understand. You're sick and tired of losing to your rivals. You've lost 9 in a row to the Georgia Bulldogs. 18 out of 20, I believe it is. Put it in the loss column. 18 out of 20 years. And you've lost 5 in a row to Alabama. I get it, Auburn fans, but let's keep it real on this show. It was a fumble. And then the Dogs dominated the rest of the game. And Kirby Smart was not calling a timeout. He was pointing out the defensive back was clapping illegally like he told the officiating crew before the game started. And by the way, the broadcast crew was awful. Sean McDonough was terrible. And his partner, Greg McElroy, should not have been in the broadcast. He hates Auburn because he played at Alabama. And by the way, he doesn't like Georgia either. The broadcast team was absolutely embarrassing.
There you go. Buck Bellew, former Georgia quarterback on 680 The Fan, had some interesting things to say about the game. And unfortunately, our teammate, Greg McElroy.
I disagree with him. Everything that he said about the broadcast team. I don't it's ridiculous. I thought it was a fumble, or didn't think it was a fumble. He thought it was a fumble here or there, and Georgia did dominate the second half. But
well, he lost all credibility the second that he said Kirby wasn't calling timeout.
yeah, okay, I was going to get to that.
There is clear video evidence that he was calling time. Nobody claps like that, and we all know that. So, yeah, he lost all credibility the second that came out of his mouth. He should have left that out. He should have. But I'm with you on, look, if you want to be critical of a broadcast, that's your right. Did he call out anything particular that they said, a way that they framed a particular moment in the game, anything like that that's a valid criticism? Okay, I can entertain that. But you just don't like the broadcast crew because Greg played at Alabama?
He didn't like the commentary that was going on during the officiating and them trying to figure out what was going on. I'm sure Buck Bellew took exception to them saying this is, what was it, horrible, bizarre, never seen this before. Greg does a great job. Who does he want? Who does he want to come in?
If you're going to
RG3 to do that game because he went to Baylor?
If you're going to criticize the broadcast crew, I would like for you to say what you're criticizing, not just, well, I don't like him. He shouldn't be on the game because he went to Alabama and he doesn't like Auburn or Georgia. Did a pretty good job on the broadcast, in my opinion. pretty unbiased. There's a lot of Alabama fans, by the way, that hate when Greg McElroy calls a game because he does such a good job of being unbiased and not crawling up Alabama's butt every time he does their game, because guess what? That's what he gets paid to do.
Yeah, and I will say this, and being around Greg over these years, listen, when I was with Paul Feinbaum, Greg used to do a weekly hit with us when he was in the National Football League. Known Greg a while. Greg is as even keel. He does not go into a broadcast. He doesn't come into his show with him and Cole that he's got an axe to grind or he's looking to do this or do that. I mean, he loves college football, and that's the way he approaches his broadcast each and every weekend. And I know people are going to hear this and they're going, well, you work with him. You're just, no, I'm just being honest. I mean, Greg is a straight shooter, and Greg's going to go into a broadcast. He's going to call it the way he sees it. So is Cole Kublik. Both of them do an outstanding job.
Look, this is a Georgia fan with a microphone, Pat.
Absolutely.
Buck Bellew is one I haven't heard just a lot of people. I haven't heard from any Auburn fans. I can't believe that Greg McElroy was doing that game. Oh my gosh, Sean McDonough, who won an Emmy at 29. He's terrible. Oh, whatever. That's Buck Bellew. That's his hot take from the weekend. Greg doesn't need defending. Greg does a great job.
Yeah, absolutely. But we thought it would be funny to play it.
Yeah.
Just because you're hearing a Georgia former quarterback who is then criticizing a former Alabama quarterback, and he's the guy that is sitting there saying that Kirby didn't call timeout, and he's given all this, it was a fumble, it did happen, this and that. It's just the hypocrisy. It's just it's crazy.
Golly, he better never interview anybody affiliated with the New York Mets, because surely he hates them. So how could he have an unbiased conversation with them about anything?
No, not anybody in Atlanta. No.
Better not ever talk to a Nationals writer or a Marlins TV reporter. Dear God, that would be horrendous.
So at least they're taking the win quite well over in Atlanta. I just wish that I would have been able to tune in and listen to the way they sounded after Alabama beat them. I wonder how old Buck Bellew, what they brought up on that Monday after that beatdown.
It's just weird. It feels like Georgia fans are mad. Like, they get angry if you bring up, I thought it was a touchdown. They're like, that was not a touchdown. Like, that was our right to that play. Why do you think that Auburn could have done something right? Why would that call have gone Auburn's? Like, they feel like they deserve.
Well, it's not all Georgia fans. We had Beham Dog that was in the stadium with his wife, went to the game, said, number one, it was the best atmosphere he'd ever been a part of. But first thing he said was, I thought it was a fumble. Or I thought it was a touchdown. I didn't think it was a fumble. So it's not all Georgia fans that are thinking this way.
And let me ask you a question. Why did Kirby Smart feel the need to jump up on a training table as he's walking out of Jordan-Hare Stadium and
start
dancing,
whipping the
backside of somebody? You just beat a team that's 500 on the season, winless in the SEC, and you're jumping up on a table like you just won the Southeastern Conference Championship? Come on, Kirby.
You know what? I was going to go in and just be objective and just take a side, but now I'm pulling for Ole Miss.
Hotty toddy. We welcome you to the.
You got any gear I can wear?
Oh, you want gear? I got gear.
I want gear.
We got you covered. All right. Brian Edwards coming up in 15 minutes. Wow. The text line is, needless to say, pretty busy right now. 205-834-9450. Brought to you by Courtesy GMC. More three-man front next. We will get to your text messages at 205-834-9450. We do have something, and this is coming from a credible source. Matt Hayes, who does a radio show in Jacksonville, Florida, he also writes for the USA Today network throughout the Southeastern Conference. He just tweeted not too long ago the following. Sources, Florida AD Scott Strickland met with influential boosters on Tuesday. The result, Gators coach Billy Napier could be fired as soon as this weekend. So that is coming from Matt Hayes, who has been a long-time Florida resident, long-time broadcaster there in Jacksonville, also now a writer for USA Today. Sources, Florida AD Scott Strickland met with influential boosters Tuesday. The result, Gators coach Billy Napier could be fired as soon as this weekend. That from Matt Hayes.
Get out in front of it. And I don't want to open up the whole other storyline, but this was my point on Monday. If this continues and what's going on with Hugh Freeze and Auburn and you're kicking the can down the road, what you don't want to run into is you're at next season at the point where Billy Napier is with his team and you're staring at 2-4 or another 3-3. Why didn't we do this sooner? That hasn't happened yet. Hugh Freeze, he could turn it around this weekend and Auburn get on a roll. They got a defense that's certainly capable. Offense, a lot needs to change. But that's just potentially one of the things you have to look at if you're John Cohen.
So we'll see what happens with Billy Napier. He has had more lives than a cat. Just every time you think that he is about to go away, he finds a way to get a couple wins, just like a couple weeks ago. We thought it was going to happen. They beat Texas at home.
College football coach that had more lives than I think I can ever remember. Was it Gus Malzahn or was it Les Miles? Because every time you thought it's going to happen.
It's a good point. Yeah, Les was the same way.
Big win. Can't fire him now.
He was the same way. So keep your eye on that story with Florida this weekend. So that means, is that like if he wins, if he loses? I mean,
I'm just curious who they're targeting. And is this more of a reaction? Not that they weren't thinking about getting rid of him, but is this more of a reaction of, well, we see some other jobs that might be coming open and there's going to be limited candidates. Let's go ahead and let's ramp up these conversations, try to get something done.
So Matt also posted a story at USA Today, and he just said, one thing is certain, Napier won't survive another loss.
Well,
obviously Strickland declined comment for the story. This, unlike other speculation about Napier's job status, is an important and direct connection to last year's near firing of Napier. It was then that the same Florida boosters were ready to pay Napier's large buyout, but were held off by Strickland and convinced to use that money in NIL space to help Napier's buyout. The boosters agreed, and the result was significantly upgraded a talented team this year. Florida flipped five-star wide receiver Dallas Wilson, the most talented player on the team, from Oregon late in the recruiting process with the infusion of the NIL cash that they saved by not firing Billy Napier last year. According to USA Today's contractual look around in regards to how much it would cost, it's at $21 million to get rid of Billy Napier. It will be paid in installments, 50% of the money within 30 days of the separation. See, that's what's different than his buyout and Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze's contract was staggered to where Auburn could pay that off in increments. They could pay it monthly. They could pay it whatever they want to pay. They do not have to pay a large sum of money immediately out of the gate like they did with Brian Harsin and Gus Malzahn. So 30 days after you fire Billy Napier, 50% of the $21 million, you got to pay him. And then after that, equal payments of 12.5% annually over the next 4 years. So that's how you pay him off. But according to Matt Hayes, it's just a matter of time, and you're looking at their schedule, another loss, and they will pull the trigger.
If they lost to Mississippi State at home, you got the bye week next week before you go to take on Georgia. And it seems like that would be an opportune time, but you most likely get by Mississippi State, I would think, at home. but a loss to State, I think that surely does it. But after that, I guess you would. But I'm not putting it out of the realm that Florida couldn't beat Georgia if we get a Florida effort like we saw a couple of weeks ago against Texas. Lagway finds it. Defense is stout for the most part.
I mean, think about this.
Against that Georgia offense, that's a fourth quarter game potentially in a Florida win.
If they fire Billy Napier, Florida will be looking for their fifth coach since 2010.
Wow.
Fifth coach since Urban Meyer resigned in 2010. And then you look at their staff, the only person that's on the staff that I believe that has any potential head coaching possibilities to like lead this team the rest of the way is Ron Roberts. And I think he was at the lower division. I think he was at Delta State in Southeast Louisiana. Not that Florida fans believe that, they're going to rally and end up in a bowl game. I'm just saying, you start looking at that staff, who would take over if you go ahead and fire him this weekend.
So since Urban Meyer, you had Muschamp, McElwain, Mullen, and then Napier.
This would be
would be the fifth, yeah.
Yeah, this will be the fifth one. All right, when we come back here on Three Man Front, we'll talk a little Vegas point spreads for this weekend, college football and the NFL. Brian Edwards from Vegas Insider joins us next. 10:43. Welcome back. This is Jock's three-man front on this Wednesday. Each and every week, we have an opportunity to catch up with our good friend from Vegas Insider, also MajorWager.com. Brian Edwards joins the program. Brian, I just read a report moments ago. I'm not really sure if you saw it yet, and this is coming from Matt Hayes, and you're familiar with Matt Hayes, longtime sports talk show host there in Jacksonville, also writes for the USA Today Network. He has just posted a story moments ago that Florida could fire Billy Napier as soon as this weekend.
When I wake up Sunday morning, the 4-year nightmare better be over.
Who's your target, Brian?
Yeah,
Who
who's
you
your
want?
guy?
Well, I had a pinned tweet up a few weeks ago with my entire top 10. My number one choice is Lane, and I'm hoping him being back together with his ex-wife, Layla, who was at Florida when I was in school, and I knew her a little bit. She dated a guy I knew for a quick minute.
Oh, hold on a second. Time out.
Yeah.
Hold on. All right, so you knew Layla Kiffin back in
Just
college.
for a brief minute, she dated a buddy. Like, I mean, I don't know that she would, like, really remember me, but I knew her for a minute.
Okay, and you said she dated a friend
A
of
friend
yours.
of mine for a minute.
Okay.
And her and Lane are back together. She's the son of John Reed.
Yes. Who
y'all
threw
may
nine?
have-
Yeah, threw 9 interceptions. Yeah, I remember him
Yeah.
in one game. That wasn't a whole season. That was one game. He threw 9 interceptions.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
But hey,
Small world.
all right, number 2, I think Layla gives us a chance maybe with Lane.
Okay.
Number 2 is Marcus Freeman. Number 3 is Kurt Signetti. If we have to get to number 4, Starkville Strickland is going to woo. Those are my choices. I have no idea what Starkville Strickland's going to do. Hopefully he's getting
Starkville
told.
Strickland. Oh my goodness. I
hopefully
love you guys come up with
told.
Sunbelt Billy, and now you got Starkville Strickland. That's pretty
Right,
good.
everybody started calling him Sunbelt Billy, so I started going with Billy Bob at that point.
Oh.
I
Wow.
like to be different.
What if they announced that James Franklin is your new head coach at Florida?
Hey, that would be a really fine with me number 4 option. I mean, what's the indictment on him? He doesn't beat top 5 teams. We don't beat top 50 teams.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess I see your point.
Yeah.
He would recruit like nobody's business at Florida. I think he's an excellent number 4 option. If I got to be pissed at going 10-2, I can be pissed at going 10-2. I've been going 5-7 and stuff of this nature lately.
Okay. Well, that
I mean, that's
makes
fair,
sense.
right? Or
No,
not?
no.
Okay.
I see you in
But
this.
number 4 choice.
Did you have Dillingham on your list?
Yes, I sure did. But I kind of had him. I think he was. I had the tweet pinned there for a couple weeks. I think Dillingham was like 7th. I don't think we can get him. Isn't he an ASU guy his whole life?
Well, I mean, he had a cup of coffee at Auburn. He was at Memphis as a coach.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
All right, let's talk some games. Let's make some money. I mean, a lot of money. So let's
Yeah, I mean,
let's
I hope
start.
nobody was Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, let's start with Florida State, who is a huge disappointment, one of the worst in America. And they're heading west, taking on the Stanford Cardinal. And if I read this correctly, Florida State is an 18-point favorite on the road against the Cardinal.
Yeah, so all the goodwill built up with the win over Alabama is long gone for Mike Norvell. He is back on a boiling hot seat, and Castellanos might be, or I'm thinking he's going to be, without 3 of his favorite targets. Randy Pittman, the starting tight end, by far the best receiver. Deuce Robinson, former 5-star. He's got 25 catches, 443 yards, 3 touchdowns in 6 games this year, and he left in the first half and didn't return last week. And then Squirrel White. All 3 of those guys are questionable, but, I mean, I think there's a pretty good chance that maybe none of them play. But even if they do play, it's a bad spot out west, late night. Stanford's not very good, but they're undefeated at home. Not very good teams, but they beat San Jose State and Boston College. And I've seen an FSU team unravel, and they seem to be unraveling. I mean, the 18.
All right, Brian. Another game. You've got a Alabama team welcoming the Tennessee Vols. Alabama, a lot of offense. They say defense travels. The problem for Tennessee is they don't have a defense when it's at home, much less in Tuscaloosa. I really love Alabama in this spot. What about you?
I do too. Tennessee's defense might be the most disappointing unit in the country. They gave up only 16.1 points per game last year, brought back 8 starters. Now, in fairness, they lost Ricky Gibson, starting corner, to a season-ending injury, and their other starting corner, McCoy, tore his ACL in January, and he's still not back yet, but that's irrelevant. They are 15th in the SEC, 108 nationally in scoring defense, giving up 29.3 points per game. They're 124 out of 124 out of 136 FBS teams in pass defense. Arkansas had no business losing last week. They had 29 first downs, 496 total yards, but they coughed up 3 fumbles, -3 in turnover margin. Not going to get it done on the road in the SEC. They lose by 3, but Ty Simpson's improving each game. I mean, right now, he's probably SEC Player of the Year. I mean, 16-1 TD-INT ratio. I think he's going to torch the Vols secondary. Bama wins by at least 2 touchdowns.
All right, so this line has moved to 9.5, and I'm talking about Mississippi State. Now, they're still an underdog to Florida. They're plus 9.5. They're in Gainesville. We just talked about the story that Matt Hayes is reporting that Billy Napier could be fired as early as this weekend. Do you have a play here against your Gators, one way or another? For State?
I like.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Mississippi State here. Now, when it seems like he's going to get fired, Florida's bowed up usually, but for the first time, really, I saw some bad body language from some players last week. And if you're a lip reader, there was a possession they came off the field, and DJ Lackway had some choice words for the play calling, if I read his lips correctly, and I'm pretty sure I did. Napier's 4-9 against the spread as a home favorite, and Levy's 4-2 against the spread as a road underdog. The ineptitude and abysmalness, if you will, I don't know if that's a word, of Napier's clock management and the offensive play calling, it's so incomprehensible to deal with. And I think the players and the parents are all at that level. It's falling apart. And look, Mississippi State moved to 9.5 this morning. Let's maybe be patient or just go ahead and buy that hook to plus 10.
Okay.
I like Mississippi State a lot if we can get plus 10.
Our Vegas insider Brian Edwards joining us on 3-Man Front and on the Higginbotham Hotline. Another game, Oklahoma trying to bounce back after the loss to Texas. They travel to Columbia, South Carolina, to take on the Gamecocks. Earlier kick. Who do you like in this one?
So I am leaning South Carolina. I'm going to wait to make sure the injury report isn't anything bad because I'm not necessarily in love with this pick, but I made Oklahoma -3. I think we saw some issues on offense last week, and how healthy is Napier? 70%, 80, 90? I don't know. And look, South Carolina's pretty good at home, and I think they're ready for one of their better performances of the year. And Oklahoma's got a great pass rush. But, Lenoris is slippery. I think he can make some plays. If there's no bad news on the injury report, I'll be on this game, but not one of my favorites.
All right. I love a parlay. So do you have any advice in regards to maybe a money line parlay in college football? Maybe something you're eyeing?
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all's teasers are 7 points or 6 points. So
6.5 usually. 6 or 6.5.
Okay, well, look, so here's the deal. So Clemson's 9.5. I like Clemson, Notre Dame, and Bama, 3 home favorites in a teaser if you can get
6
them to 2.5 or less.
Okay.
So, if you can't, just do the money line parlay. But I like Clemson, Notre Dame, and Alabama at home to all win by at least a field goal. I'm obviously playing Alabama straight. I may end up playing all of them straight. I think SMU's been a disappointment. Clemson's turned it on the last 2 weeks. Now, Klubnik got a little banged up, but he's been practicing. I think he's good. And Notre Dame, they're up to 9.5 now too. So maybe just money line parlay those 3, unless you can get it to -3 and 3 doesn't lose on a push. If you get them all to 3 or fewer and it doesn't lose on a push, do a teaser. If not, money line parlay.
What about Jackson Dart rushing the football?
Okay, now we're talking. So I've had his over in all 3 of his starts. It's cashed all 3 times. It's been in the 40s. He's gone for 54, 55, and 58. It's 44.5. So I like it over. I haven't seen his touchdown prop, but he's hit that in 2 of 3 games. It was plus 280 last week. I doubt it'll be that lucrative, but as long as it's plus 200, I'll have a little baby play on that. And let's talk about Mike Washington, Arkansas's featured running back. And what happened? I thought I had his player page up here. Oh, goodness. But anyway, I'm getting there. So I think that he had an increased workload with Petrino last week, obviously.
Yeah.
Now the head coach, he had a season high 19 carries. I haven't seen his rushing yards prop. It's been in the 50s most games, and he's gone over all 6 games. He's had rushing yards total 79, 116, 65, 70, 63, and 131 last week. If it's 65 or less, I'll be on that pretty strong against A&M. 19 carries with Petrino. I think he'll have 20 this week.
All right. In a remaining minute, any other NFL teams you like this weekend?
Well, I'm going to go back to the Commanders, even though, gosh, I hope your listeners weren't doing before the game.
No, I did Monday night, Brian. Thank you. Appreciate that very much.
Wouldn't you take Buffalo plus 6 pregame and plus 11 in the first half?
Yeah, I kept seeing that you kept running after that failed bet throughout the night. You kept saying, I'm going to take this live line now.
Yeah. I woke up yesterday morning with a nice little debt after Monday night.
Well, I hope you're happy. Pat's family's not getting Christmas.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate that.
Good thing it's a long weekend. I had New Mexico State last night.
Oh gosh. All right, so give me some NFL teams. Give me a couple besides the Commanders.
Let's go back to the Commanders. If San Fran's injury report isn't too bloody, I'll fade my Falcons at -2.
Okay.
I'm still kind of undecided on a lot. I don't got much.
All right, just text me. Just text me. I need a win.
Okay.
I need a winner.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Brian. We all need winners.
We do. Alabama fans need a winner this weekend. Voice of the Tide, Chris Stewart breaks down Alabama, Tennessee.